When was the last time you looked at your life and thought, how did I end up here? Maybe it's a relationship that's not what you imagined, a career that feels stuck, or a situation that just feels completely out of your control. It could be any number of things. And you really know that feeling though, right? It's the one like you've been doing all the right things, yet somehow you're just not where you thought you'd be. Today, I want to share something with you that can completely change how you manifest the reality that you want. Think of it like building your personal life portfolio, but not with stocks or bonds, with something that's far more valuable. These are your thoughts, your language, your decisions, and your actions. I call it TLDA, and it is the fundamental code for reality creation. It's the thing that most people are missing when it comes to really creating the life they want. You see, most people think that creating their dream life is about vision boards, it's about positive thinking, and those things are important. See, they're investing all their energy in a lot of the right things. So they're putting energy into setting their goals, setting their outcomes. They're doing the right things, but there's still something a little off. Something's still blocking them. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who they just seem to make magic happen in their lives. They're not just lucky. They're actually using these four elements every single day. They might not consciously realize it, but they're using them every day. And today I'm going to show you exactly how you can use them in your life too. I'm going to break down this formula in a way that's going to help you to start investing in the most valuable asset that you have. This is the most valuable stock you'll ever own. It's you. Because here's the truth. When everybody else is out there is chasing that next big thing, the smartest investment you can make is in your own potential. It's your own growth. It's your own future. These are the things you need to invest in. And unlike everything else, this is the one investment that's completely within your control. No special skills needed, no minimum buy-in required. All you need to understand is how these four elements work, TLDA. So once you understand how they work together to create the returns that you want in every area of your life, it's really going to be empowering for you. So go ahead and picture this. Okay, a while back, I was sitting at my computer staring at this insurance assessment, and it changed the way I thought about the way I create my reality. See, our house had burned down, and we were over $100,000 underinsured. But this isn't a story about insurance. It's about something that can completely change the way that you look at your life. Okay, so this is TLDA, and it's your own stock symbol for investing in yourself. Thoughts, language, decisions, and actions. Okay, and this isn't just a theory or it's not some type of technique. This is how you're creating your current reality and your future. So think of TLDA like building wealth. Your thoughts are your money mindset. Your language is how you talk about wealth, and your decisions are your investment strategies. And then your actions, that's your daily financial habits. See, the problem is most people are thinking scarcity, they're talking about lack, they're making random decisions, and they're just taking inconsistent actions with their resources. So this is about a lot more than wealth. This is about creating a life you want, about creating a future that you want. And we're going to dive into each step of TLDA, and we're going to see exactly how it's creating your reality. So just like building wealth, each component plays a huge role in your success. We'll start off with the T. These are the thoughts that we choose. Okay, so I want to share something with you that Ralph Waldo Emerson said, and it really sums up this whole perspective on thoughts. He said the ancestor to every action is a thought. Think about that for a moment. Every single thing in your life, every success, every setback, every win, every loss, everything, it all started with a thought. Now, here's the game-changing truth. You are the operant power in your life. Now, you might have influences in your life, but nobody is choosing your thoughts for you. Most people don't realize that they're making these choices, and they just go about every day just making random choices. They drift into thoughts about the past. They choose regret and hurt and guilt. They spiral into thoughts about the future. They choose worry. They choose anxiety. They default to this negative thinking. And then they wonder why they just keep getting more of what they don't want. Just like smart, informed investors choose which stocks to buy, you have to consciously choose which thoughts that you invest in. Okay, let me show you how this plays out. This is how this played out in our insurance situation. When I first saw that I was $100,000 underinsured, my automatic thought was a little bit of panic and a little bit of regret. But just like a smart investor doesn't make decisions on a market panic, I chose to step back. Instead of investing in thoughts of, we just failed, I consciously chose thoughts of, we're learning. Instead of having those thoughts about what we lost, I directed my thoughts toward what could be created. Right now, stop and notice what you're thinking about. How are you thinking about your biggest challenge? Are you choosing thoughts of regret about the past, anxiety about the future? Or are you consciously selecting thoughts that are going to create that next level for you? Remember, just like in the market, your thought portfolio will always give you returns, but you get to choose whether those returns are positive or negative. So take that moment right now and just think about that biggest challenge. What thoughts are you currently investing in about it? Are you appreciating or depreciating in value? All right, let's move on to the L, language. This is the language that we use. Now let's talk about something that can radically change your life. It's the power of language. And I'm not just talking about the words that are coming out of your mouth when you talk to other people. I'm talking about that constant conversation that you're having with yourself too. See, we often say things to ourselves that we would never dream of saying to somebody else. Think about it. How would you talk to a child that's learning something new? Would you say, "You idiot, you can't do anything right"? Or would you say, "Hey, sweetie, that's okay. You're doing great. You'll get it"? So take a moment right now. Just think about how you've been talking to yourself today. Would you use those same words with somebody that you love? Now, let's break this down into two critical conversations that you're having every day. The inner conversations. You always have a choice with your inner dialogue. You could say, "How could you let this happen? You should have known better. You really messed up this time." Or instead, you could choose, "Okay, this is a moment for growth. Hey, you're figuring this out step by step. Hey, what can we learn here?" Then there's how we talk about our lives to other people. When somebody asks you, "How you doing?" What's your go-to? What's your go-to response? Are you saying, "Oh, just getting by"? It's like you're telling the universe you're barely hanging on, like your head is barely above water. Hanging in there? That's one that I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm hanging in there." Well, that really means that you're expecting things to get worse. Or do you say, "Hey, I'm living my best life," which opens up doors to new possibilities? Think about it. Every time somebody asks, "How are you?" it's an opportunity to rewrite your story, not by being fake, but by consciously choosing what you focus on and what you put into words. Hey, I catch myself occasionally dropping into this pattern. Not too long ago, somebody asked how I was doing, and my automatic response was going to be, "Oh, I'm crazy busy." But I stopped, and instead I said, "Hey, I'm creating some amazing things right now." The energy of that conversation completely shifted. The person who asks, they actually leaned in. They wanted to know more. "Oh, yeah? What are you working on? What are you creating?" See, your words aren't just describing your life, they're creating it. And the best part is you get to choose them. You get to choose the life you're creating. Every time somebody asks, "How are you?" it's that chance to choose again. Instead of same old, try "every day gets better." Instead of, "Oh, I'm so tired," try "I'm recharging." Instead of, "Well, can't complain," try, "Oh man, life is just full of possibilities." All right, let's move on to the D. This is the decisions that we make. Now, Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said that the ancestor to every action is a thought. So that would mean that the parent to any action is a decision. Now, here's where this gets interesting. And I'm about to share something that might completely change how you think about creating your reality. When we talk about the D in TLDA, okay, we're talking about two different powers that you have: deciding and choosing. Think about it like investing. When you decide to invest, it's like putting all your money into one stock and cutting off all other options. The word decide literally means to cut off. It's final, it's done, it's closed, and sometimes that's exactly what we need. But choosing, that's like being a smart investor who samples different opportunities, tests the waters. They stay flexible. It's empowering because it keeps possibilities open. It's the difference between saying, I've decided that this is all I can afford, versus I'm choosing to explore creative funding options. Let me show you how this played out for us in our insurance situation. Instead of deciding that we were victims of circumstance, we chose to explore multiple solutions all at the same time. So we kept our options open for creative funding. We test different approaches to asset protection now. Now we sample new ways of thinking about security. So here's the real power move. It's knowing when to decide, when to cut off all your other options, and when to choose. So that's when to stay open to possibilities. Just like that savvy investor, they know when to commit to an investment and when to keep their portfolio flexible. Okay, so take a moment right now, and I want you to think about something that you've been deciding about lately. What if you shifted it to choosing instead? Notice how different it feels, how much more possibility opens up. All right, let's move on to the A. These are the actions that we take. Now, we arrive at this most critical part of TLDA, and this is action. This is where the rubber meets the road. So think of actions like making your actual trades in the market. You can have the best investment strategy in the world, the most positive money mindset, and you can speak confidently about wealth all day long. But if you never actually make a trade, you'll never see returns. So let me talk about this power trading strategy. It's going to help you to manifest this future that you really want. Okay, microactions. Just like a smart investor doesn't wait to have $1 million to start investing, you don't need massive action to start creating a change. Start with daily microactions. These are things that are going to align with your bigger vision. So for example, after our insurance situation, my first microaction wasn't rebuilding everything at once. It was simply creating a digital inventory of one room after another, after another, after another. So think about this for yourself. What's one micro action that you could take today? Yes, literally today, that would move you toward your goal. I want you to write it down now. Let's talk about consistent execution. The market rewards consistency over intensity. One massive action followed by months of nothing won't create lasting change. It's the small, consistent actions that compound over time. Okay? In our case, we committed to spending just 30 minutes every morning, rebuilding our business. Small incremental changes, a little bit at a time, stacked one on top of another. Were they small? Yes. But after 3 months, those 30-minute blocks have completely transformed our approach to security, wealth protection, to rebuilding our business. And now let's talk about strategic scaling. Once your micro actions become habits, it's time to scale. This is just like increasing your investment position when you see something's working for you. But here's the key. You want to scale strategically, not emotionally. We didn't try and fix everything at once. We started with one system. We perfected it. Then we expanded to the next and the next. Okay, it's stacking on top. And if you see something's not working, then you make a change and you find what is working. Now we're helping other people do the same thing with these micro actions. So here's your reality creation trading plan. Okay, start with one micro action that you can do today. Commit to a specific time to execute it on a daily basis. Track your progress like you'd track your investments, and then scale only what's working. Cut out what's not working. Okay, and this is how you make it all work together. Just like a diversified portfolio needs all elements working in harmony, TLDA only works when all 4 components align. You can't think abundance while speaking lack, and you can't make growth decisions while you're taking comfort actions. You can't use empowering language but maintain limiting thoughts. And you can't take bold action while you're making fearful decisions. When you align all 4 elements, you're creating compounded reality. This is where each element reinforces the others. Empowering thoughts lead to powerful language supports better decisions inspire aligned actions, and aligned actions reinforce empowering thoughts. Your TLDA practice starts with one situation in your life right now where you feel at effect. So take it through the TLDA process, identify your current thoughts about it, notice the language that you're using, list the decisions that you've made or that you've avoided, and review your actions or your lack of action. Then consciously choose new thoughts that empower you, language that supports your desired outcome, decisions that move you forward, actions that align with your new direction. Remember, you're not responsible for everything that happens to you, but you are responsible for everything that happens through you. And that is where your power lies. Think of TLDA as your complete wealth building strategy. So the thoughts are your investment mindset, the language is your prosperity proclamation, your decisions are going to become your portfolio choices, and your actions are going to be those daily trades. Remember, your mindset matters because your reality portfolio is being built every single day. So whether you're conscious of it or not, it's still being built. Now, the only question is, are you investing intentionally or are you letting life invest for you? If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. That way you'll get notified of new episodes that come out. And hey, if you know somebody that this is going to help, please share it with them. Help us get our message out. So this is Mindset Matters. I'm Dan Singletary, and we'll see you next week.